That's not right. I don't think that's love.
No shit, Sherlock. That's not love. She told you directly to your face that she's with you for the money. You promised to get her on the plane from Russia.
SAR Experience.
Привет iz Odessy Mama. Greetings from Odessa, Ukraine, and welcome back to another vodcast with me, Connor Klein. This is the SAR Experience, and boy, do I have an entertaining reaction video for you today, because this is by popular demand. I've seen in the comments below several of my previous vodcasts where I look at 90 Day Fiancé and some of the couples in it. So if you don't know what 90 Day Fiancé, it's a very popular TV series on TLC where American men and women bring a fiancé, someone they're planning to marry, for 90 days on this special visa before they actually tie knot and decide if they want to marry them or not. So what we're focusing on, obviously, with this channel is American men, in this case dating Eastern European women. I've already gone through two of them, which are David and Lana from Ukraine, and also then Caesar and Maria from Ukraine. And this time we have the most dramatic of the couples, which is Jorge or George and Anfisa from Russia. And actually, one of the participants in my online bootcamp, Slavic Seduction Secrets, he actually asked me if I was going to review this as well the other night on the live stream earlier this week. So that's actually closed for enrollment. More about that at the end of this podcast. So let's see. Now, first thing to bear in mind is, of course, this is dramatized. They do have cameras on them. So how naturally are they really behaving? Is it real? It's very realistic for sure when you're looking at these couples. You know, as it ran through in the previous vodcasts analyzing the show, there are just so many issues that come up that in real life they really do come up like that as they're portrayed. So whilst they do have financial incentive, obviously, to make it more dramatic, the couples, so they stay in it longer and they're more, they're trying to build their own careers, a lot of them based off this on social media. It is really, really interesting to watch. You can learn a lot. So let's dive into Jorge, or George, even though they spell it Jorge all the time, Jorge, and Anfisa from Russia. Let's see what's going on in this first clip from the series.
I don't want like a big dress. I just want something straight that would show off my curves.
Okay.
I want lace, white.
What about price point? What are you comfortable with?
What is your most expensive dress?
Our most expensive dress would be $45,000.
Oh, first thing there, you see they're in picking out the wedding dress, and she asks, well, when it comes to price point, not because they have a budget, but what is your most expensive dress? Huge red flag straight away. This happens often with girls who, in my opinion, don't really have good taste. They don't really decide. They just say, I want the most expensive because that must be the best. Instead of like choosing, first of all, the dress that they want, in this case, if it's a wedding dress. And of course, being everybody, even if you're a billionaire, has some sort of budget that's the maximum. So she's just like, whatever, what is your most expensive? Well, here it's $45,000. Let's see how this develops.
Is that okay? When George asked me to come to the States, he promised to get me whatever I want.
Whatever makes you happy.
All right, already I'm looking at Jorge, and he's saying very weak frame, whatever makes you happy. He's not setting any boundaries here. I mean, if he cannot afford the 45K for the wedding dress, he needs to say straight away, my budget is X, we can spend this, let's make a few adoptions. But he's just like basically not reacting, and it appears that he doesn't have the 45K, but he's saying whatever makes you happy. Again, setting no boundaries. Of course, her expectations are going to be higher. With respect to a girl who apparently doesn't really understand what quality is, and she just said whatever is the most expensive. Those kind of girls tend to be, obviously they can't really assess things in terms of figuring out what's good value or taste. That's usually a sign of lower quality in general, that they just, it's like if you go to a restaurant, to give you probably a more pertinent example, and they go to choose and they just look at the price and say, okay, most expensive thing on menu because that's what I want, or that's what I think will be the best, rather than picking out what they really want. That is a bad sign straight off. So that for me is always a red flag. Let's see what he goes on.
Are you guys looking forward to getting married?
Yeah.
Why you looked at me first?
Huh? I don't know. I wanted to see your reaction. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. I want more shoes, more bags, more. I want a car.
There has to be a limit.
10,000 per month?
Don't make me laugh.
And I guess we're not getting
Be
married.
reasonable.
So there you see, she's expecting a 10K per month US dollars allowance so she can go shopping every month. If the guy is a billionaire, maybe that's not such a high figure, but again, he's saying be realistic, but again, he's not setting a strong boundary like, hey, you know, if we need to buy these things, this is the amount of budget we have, and been very clear about where that boundary is. He's just like, yeah, just basically not reacting the whole time. So her expectations are probably going wild, nonstop, that she can obviously live some lifestyle that's way in excess of what this guy so far looks like what he can provide. Let's see.
You want everything like today.
I mean, today I told.
Like you want it today.
Oh, I didn't know.
Why can't you?
So there I'm looking at Anfisa and Jorge beside each other. And the first thing is very noticeable. Jorge is obese, or George, because they prefer him as George in the show. He's clearly obese, so he is BMI, body mass index, is massive. It's very unhealthy. That is unattractive. Now, of course, I have another podcast where we talk about what is important to Eastern European women in general, and looks are not a high priority. It's true, but being obese, that is a pretty big handicap to have. It's unhealthy, it's unattractive for biological reasons. And yeah, you contrast that to how she looks. Like she's had a good bit of, it appears, things done to her. She's quite young. She's in her maybe early 20s. Her breasts don't looks like she's had breast implants. They don't look natural. But that's just my speculative glance at it. And then you have an obese guy. So, you know, if he was coming with a very strong frame, I would say, okay, the couple makes sense. But he's got a very weak frame so far. He is not aesthetically attractive, which isn't the end of the world, especially with Eastern European women. But he seems to be trying compensating so far with the claim or the impression that he's just going to provide financially, just unlimited. And now he's not living up to that. So him looking the way that he does, it would be fine if he had a very strong frame. And he could still be very attractive, I think, to a woman who looks like Anfisa. But he has this very weak and then provider. He's given a weak provider frame, basically a sim frame so far. Should be interesting to see how that develops. That is something obviously you can correct. And what's interesting is I looked recently, these clips are from about 2 years ago, but since it's such a popular request, I'm still obviously reacting to it now. I've actually seen what happened. The guy apparently went to prison, he lost a lot of weight, now he looks slim and trim. Interesting how it took him going to prison to correct his obesity issue.
She wants a more expensive ring, but I mean, there's one thing about being reasonable and one thing going over budget and one thing making me a slave for the rest of my life. We have to be reasonable. I want to make Anfisa happy, but I can't get her a ring that's going to take me 50 years to pay off.
I think we need some time to think. Maybe will be able to make him get something more expensive. George and I need to have a talk about money. He made me a lot of promises, and now I'm here, and he's not coming through.
Boom. So there she outlines exactly why she has these expectations. Basically, it seems like George here has been lying to her about what he was promising. He basically seems to have led with money, and now he's not following through. Now, I know the initial reaction, because I read all the comments about that, this girl is a gold digger. Well, clearly she's been very direct about why she's with him and what she wants. So it's not incorrect to say that she's a gold digger. She openly admits that, but she's an honest gold digger. That's the point. She has not tried to manipulate him, it seems, into thinking that she loves him for any other reason. Let's roll it on and see how that plays out.
You're basically saying that you're just dating me because I can buy you things.
Yes?
The harsh, honest truth. She just told him straight out, no manipulation, no finesse about it. That is why I'm with you. Oh, I'm loving this. only all Russian gold diggers were dishonest.
That's not right. I don't think that's love.
No shit, Sherlock. That's not love. She told you directly to your face that she's with you for the money. You promised to get her on the plane from Russia.
What?
So basically, you're saying if I can't provide, I'm worthless to you.
I don't understand what's wrong about it. If I was
It is.
ugly and fat, would you be dating me?
Boom. Yeah, and that is what happens if you are in a relationship with a gold digger and you run out of the gold to be dug. They dump you in a split second. But she's very upfront and honest about it. So, yeah, she was getting a lot of hate I saw in the comments, but she's just direct. I don't see the problem. And why is he interested in her? Well, we can see why. Fake titties.
If you were who you are,
Yeah.
Yeah, if she were fat, ugly, and a gold digger, probably not the same attraction, I'm guessing. And nor would he be staying with her.
Yeah.
looks don't always have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
So what if?
As men, we're biologically visual orientated, so for evolutionary biology ideas, we would look at women to see how fertile they are, how like they are to be healthy enough to carry children. This is all built into thousands of years of evolution. So this is why men normally prioritize looks higher in their priorities than women. Although in the West you could say that that's changed a little bit. Women are definitely prioritizing looks more than in Eastern Europe for sure. But this is rubbish, obviously. We both know that's not true.
So what if I buy the ring you want, buy the expensive dress?
I mean, if you don't, unless you have a very strong emotional connection with someone, that normally takes a long time to develop. But yeah, someone you apparently met online, no. It's only the visuals, primarily.
I give you like the most amazing wedding in the world, and something happens. Say I get hurt or something and I can't work. And what then? You're just gonna leave me?
It may be a bit cruel to Laz, but she's just been so direct and honest in these clips I picked out. Just like, yeah, if I lose my ability to provide, I can't buy you stuff, you're just gonna dump me, basically. Since the only reason that she's there is for your money, if you don't have that, then obviously, до свидания, as they say in Russian. Пока-пока.
I am beautiful and I like nice clothes, nice shoes, nice purses. So I expect him to pay for all that.
So Anfisa is 20 years of age and apparently a little bit intellectually vapid, shall we say, because that is basically her only focus is buying expensive things. Again, if you look at her visually, she says she's beautiful. She doesn't seem to be naturally, we'll say, without the enhancement. I mean, she obviously worked and she probably paid for it, or someone paid for her to be enhanced in lots of different ways, looking at her face and stuff. She isn't, for me, exactly my type, but I can't say that she's butt ugly or something for sure. And definitely if you compare obese George beside her, then obviously you would say that she is obviously a lot more attractive on any scale than him in the looks department, clearly. And apparently the overall package, if he has such a weak frame, and this is something that's completely in your power to develop, and he has a super weak frame, so even though he seems to have had enough money to get her over a certain amount of financial means, he is leading so weakly that this is, of course, simp behavior. Now, I did review the other two couples, and we saw like Caesar, the super simp. I mean, she is there with him. She did come over, she didn't marry him, so he's not on that level of simpness, but let's see what else. But she's very direct. A lot of people hate on her, but I have to say, I mean, only all these, my biggest problem with gold diggers is just that they're not open about it. Like when I reviewed that video from Anna Bay, who has School of Affluence, like just own that you're a gold digger. It's fine. And Anfisa owning it like a boss.
Like, when is the end?
Never.
There's no end to this.
After you want something, you're gonna want something else. And after you get that, you're gonna want something else.
Yeah.
Like, there's never gonna be an end to it.
Why is he looking so shocked? She basically said, I'm coming here with my body and my looks, and you're gonna pay for everything I want in life. and that's obviously not going to end next week after the wedding or whatever it is. It's forever. You just signed up for this torture forever. Always be careful what you wish for in life. God, when he looked at those fake breasts online, he didn't really think it through. It's true.
I can make some sacrifices on my end, but really, if I buy those things, like, I'm gonna just regret it because I'm only making sacrifices for the person that I love. But if they don't love me back, then why should I make that sacrifice?
First of all, George, you don't really love Anfisa. You love her youthful complexion, her fake boobs, and I guess her beauty, for what it's worth. You obviously don't love this lunatic.
What?
Now she's been a lunatic.
The driver's side door. She broke phones, plural. I tried calling her. She erased my phone. She's very controlling. I can't talk. I'll call you back in just a few.
No.
I'm literally making a deal for $15,000, and you're really up.
So clearly here, George is not setting boundaries. He's basically letting her dominate and be a complete psychopath narcissist. This is the really crazy crap that she's up to, and he's not setting boundaries like, hey, you keep my car, it's over, right? Lunatic, go away, go back to bloody Russia. But he's just basically tolerating. So not setting boundaries. Again, extremely weak frame. Basically, he's getting walked all over here. I mean, what can you expect to happen? That she's going to suddenly love a guy like this for anything other than his money?
George and I met online. George said that he was rich, so I responded.
He said he was rich, so I responded. There you go. Straight up. That's what the whole relationship is based on. His ability to pay for her. Quelle surprise, George.
But George didn't deliver on his promises to buy me nice things.
So we do require a 60% down.
About 20,000 today.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I don't have 20,000 in cash right now.
So it's not a problem.
So that's exactly, he has not lived up to his end of the bargain. So she's just been honest and transparent. And he's just being pretty much a weak little weasel. I mean, you wanted those fake boobies, now you're not willing to pay the price for them. Sorry, dude. No sympathy.
I am coming back now.
You could not. I know it's a dramatized series, but like, how is he tolerating this bad behavior? Man, Jorge, zero respect, and she has zero respect for him as well, because he's not putting his foot down and drawing a red line, saying, "Hey, you walk past this, over." Paka paka, Rasil.
Like what is there to defend? She's admitting to the fact that she's here for a green card and money.
Well, let me ask the group.
And why are you dating me? Because I'm intelligent? Because I'm smart? Or because I have independence?
Because I hope.
Oh God. Again, she's been brutally honest. I'm here for my green card. I'm here for my money. Apparently his family was against him. Duh. Hooking up with her because they could see that. She's telling you to your face, man. Hombre. She's telling you to him straight to your face. That's why she's here. She will have that green card and have milked you dry of all your money pretty quickly. And then what's going to happen? She says, well, you're with me because I'm telling you. She's obviously doesn't come across as particularly intellectual. Our Anfisa here. But that's obviously not what has attracted George to her mind or anything else about her other than her body.
Because I hope that things would change.
All right, so again, what a simp. I hope things will change. Hope is not a strategy at all, Jorge or George. So that's all the clips I'm going to show you today from Anfisa and George. But you can go and check them out. Obviously, just look on YouTube or watch the series on TV. As I said, like now the dude has gone to prison. He lost all the weight. She left him for someone else. No, quelle surprise, George, that she would leave when things got a little bit rough in tetanus and what is it, health and sickness and whatever. She kind of missed out that part of the marriage vows. And there are several things. Obviously, it's super entertaining and dramatic to watch this. But as I said a little bit earlier in the vodcast, she is unusual because she is an honest gold digger, and actually I respect her for that. She's saying basically, I'm not here because I love you or something. There's no lovey-dovey BS trying to lure the guy in and manipulate him. It's just like, I'm hot, you're not, but you have the money and the green card I want. Transactional, but she's honest about it. Georgian has no frame, no presence, apparently not even enough money, and on top of it, he's been obese in the whole thing as well. So yeah, super low, and he's playing the victim the whole time as if she's unreasonable. She told you to your face, but some people, they just, I guess, they see a nice chest, some nice boobies, and that's it. That's all it takes to lure them in and make them destroy their life. So what can you learn, well, in addition to being entertained by this particular series, is number one, if someone is making it very clear that they are interested in you primarily with money, don't complain about it. It's perfectly fine to lead with money and bring someone into your world, especially if you have a lot of it. But if you're like Jorge, where you have some but not enough to actually satisfy his needs, lying and exaggerating is a disaster. You really are setting yourself up for a huge problem later on when obviously you fail those expectations. So that's the first thing about leading with money. Of course, the second thing is be careful what you wish for. Just because someone's good looking, that's fine. I understand the biological reasons, but she also had a lot of work done on herself, so actually biologically speaking, she's kind of cheating as well. So definitely not a good investment to make in the long term, unless you can afford it, and that's what you want to spend your money on, having a trophy bimbo, because she does also point out that she's not really the smartest in the series. So second of all, of course, be careful what you wear for, what you wish for. Third, setting boundaries. You have to set boundaries in a relationship, and people need to set boundaries with you as well, obviously your partner. But like, he doesn't just say no, she just goes more and more hysterical. He's not able to say, listen, that's it, you're a lunatic. This is the kind of behavior I'm not going to tolerate, and I'm willing to walk away from the table. You always hear me talk about that. It's like any negotiation strategy in life. If you're not willing to walk away from things, you're in a weak frame straight away. You're super needy. He has a scarcity mindset. Listen, you're going to line and lead with money. You can get a lot of women from the West who are gold diggers, from Latin American gold diggers, obviously from Russia or Eastern Europe who are gold diggers. So this is not hard to get a replacement for. But he has this scarcity mindset that, he's invested so much in just this one particular girl, and he's basically willing to tolerate anything, even when she tells him directly she's only with him for money, that she will suck him dry of his finances, get the green card, and dump him. In the series, just to be a spoiler alert, that's exactly what she does to him. But she was upfront about it, so, for me, thumbs up for Anfisa, as kind of obnoxious as she is, but it's refreshingly honest, I have to say. And George, really, man, super weak frame, and in the end, he actually says that he's in debt. Well, if you cannot afford your trophy wife, maybe don't invest in a trophy wife. There are other options in life, nor do you need money. I am going to link up above on a card and down below in the description my podcast about exactly the preferences of Eastern European women, so women from Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. If you haven't seen that podcast where I go through what actually makes the biggest difference, and it will surprise you, in spite of the reputation, in spite of this being a little bit stereotypical that she's the Russian, young Russian gold digger, that is not the norm actually in Eastern Europe, and nor do you necessarily have to lead with money. It is a booster. I love money, but leading with it, especially if you don't actually really have it, you see, with a weak frame, disaster, catastrophe. So that is today's vodcast. Definitely let me know what you think of Anfisa down below in the comment section. Also George, and how you think he dealt with the situation. Now, I did mention at the beginning that actually one of the members of my online bootcamp, Slavic Seduction Secrets, he actually also requested it, so I hope you've enjoyed it, because I know you're going to watch it as well. And that is what I've been helping my participants with, is basically all these mindset issues that lead to either having a weak frame like George has, and how to actually have the opposite, which is a strong frame, and succeed and meet your dream Eastern European woman, Slavic woman happens to be here in Odessa, Ukraine, or in Russia, or in Belarus. So if you don't want to lose 10K, 20K, 40K, 50K into a relationship with a Slavic woman that isn't going to be successful, like Jorge, who knows how much money he spent on this, on Anfisa already, and he can't afford it, then investing in something like my online bootcamp is definitely a great idea. Like teaching guys how to organize the perfect date, Slavic mentality intelligence, special emotional intelligence is very specific to being here in Eastern Europe, how to test a woman for a long-term relationship. Jorge or George here definitely should have done that for sure before he got involved with Anfisa. And the mindset that you need to come here to Eastern Europe and be super successful in meeting and dating the beautiful women here. Now, at the moment when I'm shooting this video, my bootcamp is closed because actually I've got the final live stream in 2 nights' time. And actually, when this go out, it'll already be over. But I will open up for enrollment in the future. And in order to get in on that, you need to be on my mailing list because I only open up for enrollment to my loyal fans, my most loyal fans are on the mailing list. That is completely free to join. There is a link below in the description. As always, there is a free checklist for 5 biggest mistakes made by Western guys when they come here to date Eastern European women. As a thank you, if you're not on it, then you get that for free completely. But you need to be on the mailing list to be notified about it. So definitely, if you're not on the mailing list, then go and do that ASAP because yeah, when you're watching this, I've already opened up for enrollment. Enrollment's only normally for a week to get in on it. So I do try to keep it exclusive and get really motivated group of guys together in order to make it really, really impactful. And that has been the case on the career run. Super pumped, super thrilled about how it's gone so far. And it will sadly be over this Sunday for me. It's the last live stream. In the meantime, I am here in Odessa, Ukraine, but soon enough, where everything is open, by the way. It is the crew, you know, it has been the year of the coronavirus lockdown, but we are here on the shores of the Black Sea, and the bars, the clubs are pumping. People are all around here. There are very few people wearing masks. Don't open the debate about whether you should wear a mask or not. I know it's been politically sensitive in some countries, but basically everything is open. Things look pretty normal here. The one thing that is different this summer is the lack of horny foreign guys on the shores of the Black Sea in Odessa, trying to romance the really beautiful women here in Odessa. That is something unique. It is something considered this summer that Eastern Europe is Eastern Europe without the foreign dudes. So your competition is dramatically reduced if you are interested in coming here and just having an amazing experience. Of course, I help my clients in person to do that. It is not for everybody, of course, to live this experience with me. We will go out and we will party in my favorite places in the city that I think are appropriate for you. You won't have to figure out where everything is. You won't have to worry about the language barrier. You won't have to worry about being scammed or stuck, although I was going to say stuck with Anfisa, but Anfisa is completely honest and transparent. But we'll say a less transparent version of Anfisa. We'll have the Gold Digger test that's also on my boot camp. So if you are interested in, or if you believe that you are a good fit for the Zara experience, then definitely there is also a link below in the description to that. I have added an additional box to the application form for guys who actually are more interested in my consulting than necessarily coming to live the Zara experience with me here in person. Also with, of course, some of the travel restrictions, that's been a more attractive option for some guys, but so definitely check that out. Basically, we'll get like unlimited access to me and my coaching, and we'll go through a lot of things that are also in the bootcamp. But in addition to that, I can actually vet the girls that you're talking to or planning to meet here in a city like Odessa. So I'm going to go and enjoy a beautiful evening because the weather has been absolutely fantastic over the last few weeks in Odessa. We had maybe one bad day of weather, otherwise it's almost too hot. Today's been fine, it's like 28 Celsius today, so probably the evening's going to be 23, 24. Perfect weather by the sea. See you very soon in the next video. Do svidania, do pobачення. Ciao, ciao.
SAR Experience.